Hello and welcome to another episode of Stranded with a Stranger. This is our midweek episode. These go out on a Monday, and of course our main episodes go out on a Friday. Now this is your opportunity to be a part of the conversation and to send your lists in to us. Now if you want to be a part of one of these, then please send your list of 8 tricks, 1 book and 1 non-magic item that you use for magic to sales@alakazam.co.uk. Please put into the subject matter my desert island tricks. That way it comes through to me. But with that being said, we do have another stranded stranger. Today's stranded stranger is Tom Cerny. This is what he says. He says, I am a pharmacist. I'm not a magic performer. I guess I would be an enthusiast or a hobbyist. My son Morgan showed an interest in magic about 6 years ago. About age 8, he's 14 now, and that rekindled my own interest. I began with some basic effects and some back issues of the linking ring from eBay. Over the years, I've added a Genie subscription, most of Magic Magazine back issues, and quite a lot of books. I was already a bibliophile, faster than I can read them, but I pick them up on sale or grab one before it goes out of print. I've also gotten a number of DVDs and online lectures and academies. My son does some performing, Lions Club, towns festivals, birthday parties and family get-togethers, etc. I work with him and show him things I have read about or watched to help him script and time it for a show. I really enjoy the thinking behind an effect. Studying magic has had an impact on the way I think about things. I can't give any specific examples, it just changes perceptions and the way you look at things and the order you might do them in. We live in the very south tip of Illinois, in the American Midwest on a farm near the town of Cobden, population 1,200. We are pretty much on our own. The closest magic shop is Brent Braun's about 4 hours away. We haven't gotten there yet. We got to see Rick Thomas at a local civic centre several years ago, and the illusionists came to our city about an hour away. My son got to go on stage with Paul DeBeck for paper balls over the head. We also got to see Abracadabra with Dan Sperry a few years ago. As I said, I don't really perform. I enjoy learning and do a few effects for my son and family and friends. Some I have taught to my son and he has performed them in parlour or small stage. My knowledge and my list are diverse but not necessarily deep yet. But a couple of years on my island could change that. That being said, here is my list. Wow, so it seems that you've got a little family act going on there as well. Maybe we're going to have a father and son act going on one day. Maybe that's going to be a new America's Got Talent act in a few years' time. But of course, at that point, we'll already know what you're going to do because we're about to read out your list of 8 tricks. So here is what Tom has put in his first position. Autome by Max Maven. I love books and I love the idea of a natural forcing book. Max had some wonderfully devious ideas. Also, I get to take 3 novels along to read. Crafty. And some business cards. Excellent choice. Yep, book tests are always wonderful. And Max Maven really was a master at mentalism thinking. So that's a great choice. And yeah, super sneaky taking 3 books with you, which is going to be great for you to pass some time. And that leads us on to Tom's second choice. That's the Invisible Deck. It's a classic, a basic and a powerful effect. My son and I just had a Zoom call with Steve Bedwell, and he taught us his shake, shuffle, and twist routine for it, which I heard about in your Mark James episode. Taking this version lets me take a cocktail shaker to my island just in case. Honourable mention to Bill Malone for his standing ovation Invisible Deck from On the Loose Volume 3. Excellent choice, of course, the Invisible Deck. It's got to be one of those tricks which I would say surely over 70% of performers have or have done. It's just a wonderful trick, and yeah, lots of different ways of doing it. Do check out the Mark James episode as well because it was really, really cool. And that leads us on to number 3. He says, on this Penguin lecture, Mark James did an effect he called his Big Prediction. It makes use of a Cy Stebbins stack in a cyclical nature. It's fun to perform and gets great reactions, and also being stranded would leave me lots of time to play with the sidestep in stack and see what else it holds. Roberto Giobbi has a great 3-card prediction using the stack, but its name escapes me, maybe in stand-up card magic. Again, another really great choice. You mentioned about spending lots of time on there. Yep, I think you'd discover tons with that stack. So it's a great, great choice. And that brings us to a number 4, Daryl's rope routine. I love watching it. I enjoy trying to follow along. I have only performed the Professor's Nightmare section in front of an audience. In addition to his routine, I'll have some rope for other tricks. Great. Again, Daryl is just a legend. All of his tricks were super clever, always really well thought through, always had sort of a comedy twist to them, which sort of made them a bit more quirky and stand out a bit more. But absolutely superb choice. I'm curious to know why you've only done the Professor Nightmare section. I wonder if that's just something that you're working up to elaborate on that routine. But it does bring us to your 5th choice, Tom, which is the cups and balls. I only know a very basic routine for the cups and balls, probably the same moves everybody starts with. I don't even remember where I learned it from. I know some of the other moves and sleights, just not another routine yet. Again, there will be lots of time to practice and develop other routines while I'm on the island. Great choice. Cups and balls is always going to be up there, I think, for magicians. It will probably be a classic for as long as time, I would presume, and with great reason. There's always some superb ideas, some superb routines, and it's interesting that all of these years on, we're still developing new variations and ideas for it. So it just shows what a versatile routine it is. Great choice. And that does bring us to number 6. Here's what Tom says. Darwin Ortiz was a pleasure to watch and listen to. On his Penguin lecture, he did a 3-phase routine with 2 spectators that involved using a breather crimp to cut the same number of cards they cut and to cut to their cards. I don't remember the name associated with the effect. It taught me that a breather is a great utility to have in your bag. Absolutely. I know lots of friends who, when you borrow a deck of cards, you can magically cut to a certain card. So I do think a lot of performers have it in there. And you're right, it's just one of those things. It doesn't hurt to have it in your deck, ready to go should you need it. And it just ups the likelihood of an eventuality that you maybe can take credit for. So excellent choice. And it does bring us onto the tail end of Tom's selection. So here we have in 7th position, Cody's comedy book test. So funny. The dual reality aspect is great, like the paper balls over the head, which Paul DeBack did with my son. Also, I get to take another book, even if the jokes are corny. My own can be too, so no worries. It's all in the delivery. The book also has another built-in gimmick that I can use with the novels I have for the Max Maven book test. Interesting. So I'm not sure we've had someone take 2 of the same trick before, that being a book test. So obviously you took Max Maven's and you're taking Cody's comedy book test as well. But I guess that just gives you the opportunity to have different books selected. So maybe you're just going to stick them all together and allow the audience to pick one, and therefore you know which route you're going to go down. Who knows? It's a really interesting choice. And it does bring us on to your final choice. Here's what Tom has put in his 8th position. Tom says, John Carey has a dice routine that is like B-Wave in essence. You show a coin purse and have the spectator imagine there 4 dice of different colours. By elimination, they end up with 1 colour. You dump out the contents and there is 1 die of the colour they named, and the other 3 are clear and colourless. It's on his Dice Dice Baby DVD. This was my introduction to the use of equivocation. Get Dan Harlan's masterclass for much more on that. I chose this effect instead of B-Wave itself so that I would have the dice with me. I just learned about Eugene Berger's gimmickless version on Dan Harlan's director's cut lecture from Magi Fest. I really like that as well. Excellent choice. Yeah, those equivocation routines are always great, and equivoque, whatever you want to say. It's just a wonderful, wonderful routine and tool to have in your bag. It can play in so many different ways. So absolutely great choice. And no doubt on your desert island, you'll find some more objects that you can use that technique with. So we've gone from Autome by Max Maven, Invisible Deck. We've got the Mark James Big Reaction, Daryl's Rope Routine, Cups and Balls, Darwin Ortiz's Routine, Cody's Comedy Book Test, John Carey's Dice Routine. And now we have some honourable mentions. So let's see what you put in your honourable mentions. We've got Zodiac Code by Rachel Wild Colombini. A great way to force a colour. This is fun and colourful and can be used with lots of reveals. I would also have had some small paper bags in case I needed them on the island. Great choice. Number 2 in your honourable mentions. Ultimate 3-Card Monty by Michael Skinner. I just like doing it. Yeah, 3-Card Monties are always amazing. Number 3, you've got Fielder's Flyer from Daryl's Penguin lecture. Number 4, Big Reaction by Andy Nyman. An excellent, excellent trick. I have Big Reaction. It's superb. Anything by Andy is going to be incredible. Also, maybe Andy should come to the island soon. If only. Moving on, number 5, we've got the Mental Epic board. Great choice. It's just a classic, but for a good reason. Number 6, Getting to Know You by David Corsaro. Another one that gets great reactions and would provide some blank cards for Eugene Berger's B-Wave. And finally, in his final honourable mention, he's put Paparazzi Deck by Caleb Wiles. A great use of the Gemini Twins effect, and it's very adaptable in presentational premise. You know, Caleb Wiles is a wonderful, wonderful card creator. His tricks are always super quirky, and I'm a big fan of his. So let's move on to Tom's book. So I'm interested to see where he's going to go with this. As I mentioned, I have picked up quite a few books and have read several and dabbled in others. The reason I've settled on this one, it's a collection of essays compiled by Joshua J. called Magic in Mind, Essential Essays for Magicians. I've only dipped into this a little so far, and my time on the island would allow me to really get into it. There are some wonderful magicians presented in it. Ooh, interesting choice. So almost like a theory-ish book going on there, which is great. I guess we had Notes of a Fellow Traveller a couple of times. We've had Maximum Entertainment a couple of times. So great choice. That's a nice new one for our island. And it does bring us to your non-magic item, Tom. So Tom has said, straight-sided tall-stemmed wine glass to display playing cards. For instance, in Mark James's Big Prediction, 2 cards are freely chosen and displayed to the audience. A third card is then created by a free choice of the suit and one of the value of the second. Wine glasses are great for holding the cards. And of course, they can be used for their original purpose for holding wine. Absolutely great choice. Yeah, just a wine glass really can elevate a card trick. It just takes it from a close-up routine all the way to a parlour and even stage. You know, cards across presented in glasses is a great choice. And again, I don't think we've had that on our island yet. So a great new one. So thank you so much, Tom, for your list. That's an excellent, excellent list. Please do get your son to write in as well. It would be great to hear his list as well. And that means we'll have had a father and son on our island, other than, of course, Pete and Harry in the past. So that was a great list. Thank you, Tom. Of course, you are a stranger no more. We know everything that we need to know about your desert island and your list. Now, if you guys want to be a part of this and have one of your lists read out, please send them in to sales@alakazam.co.uk. In the subject line, please put my desert island tricks. Of course, give us a little bio like Tom did beautifully at the beginning there. Give us your tricks and the reasons for them as well. With that being said, we're going to see you this Friday for another episode of Desert Island Tricks. But for now, have a good week.
When I perform at gigs, I look at effects that tick these 3 boxes. Is it super strong and powerful? Yes. Will it last with your spectators for a lifetime? Absolutely. And does it leave them with a souvenir that perfectly captures the moment of magic? If that all sounds exactly what you're after, look no further than the liquid forks. These forks have been custom designed to be able to bend right in front of your spectators' eyes. It's so easy to perform, it's so visual, and trust me, they will honestly keep this impossible object because they've seen it morph in front of their eyes. It literally does the impossible. Not only that, Liquid Forks comes with 50 of these forks in each pack, and it comes with the full Liquid Forks routine taught by the world famous David Penn. Not only that, we have a subscription service. If you guys love these forks and you get through them at your gigs, we now offer a monthly subscription where you get sent a box through every single month at a 10% reduced fee. Like I said, you guys are going to be loving these. You're going to be performing them every chance you can. Trust me, the reactions are second to none. So guys, head over to alakazam.co.uk, pick up a set of Liquid Forks. You will not regret it. Easy to do. Leaves them with a killer souvenir. And to be honest with you, it's not cards, it's not coins, it's not mentalism. It's something beyond belief. Check it out now, guys, the Liquid Forks.